Hey everybody, how y'all doing? This is Mike Hines here with Way of Life Outdoor Survival. And y'all, I just out there messing around. I've been trying to do a video. First thing I want to say, I know I haven't been on YouTube much here in the last week or so, but y'all know the deal. I'm out looking for work, y'all. I've actually um, went out of town for 2 or 3 days trying to find work. Not going so great, but anyway, today, y'all, I was just out here messing around. I'm actually come down here. I don't know if y'all can see behind me, but we got a lot of wild blackberries around here, and we collect those, make jellies and jams and pies and homemade wine and everything out of them. But that's what I was doing. Oh man, y'all. I know if I don't quit eating them, ain't gonna be none, but they so good. All right. Anyway, y'all know I told you I was gonna start doing this series on season 5 of the Alone Show. Um, Last week was episode 2. They are in Mongolia, and this week, y'all, I ain't gonna lie to you, I had to put some cheat notes on my phone here. I'm gonna be looking at my phone some, but I'm actually trying to increase my sound, y'all. The sound quality on my videos. I've had a couple guys that after the last video. A couple of guys are hard of hearing, as I am myself, and I want to try to accommodate everybody, so I'm trying to increase the sound. So if this is too loud, y'all, I'm sorry. I'm just trying to, like I said, accommodate everybody and make my videos more appeasing to everybody, y'all. And blackberries are good. But anyway, the 4 people they showed this time were Larry, Dave, Brad, and Britt. Y'all seen on episode 1, Carly went home over the fish hook. Well, y'all, I'm gonna tell you. Like I said earlier, Mongolia looks like right now, that time of year that it's going on has plenty of resources, plenty of dangers. But y'all, winter's coming. You better be preparing, guys. Uh, we start off with Larry. Larry was from season 2, and y'all, I love Larry to death. He made it 64 days on season 2. Larry was very emotional. Season 2, he talked about that the stress and the pressure got to him because of the hunger. Y'all, when you're out there, you're hungry, you're starving, you're gonna get emotional. I like Larry. A lot of people say Larry gets frustrated easy. Larry gets upset, but y'all, my outlook on that, I think that's how Larry deals with it. Um, I think Larry has the potential to go very far in this competition. But they started off with Larry. Uh, he was talking a lot about the frustration, the stress, the pressure, the hunger. Um, Actually, I think he said that the memory of season 2 was playing a mental part on him. And I can see that. He's already been there once, y'all. He knows how hard this is. You go into something like this willingly? Yeah. You're going to get frustrated. You're going to get upset. You're going to get emotional. I think everybody deals with everything their own way. I really like Larry, y'all. He starts off, it's kind of funny. He bashed a chipmunk that was running by, and he was tore up about that chipmunk, y'all. Actually, I think it started on day 5, or maybe day 4. 4 or 5 is when episode 2 started on season 5. Larry killed the chipmunk. We was talking about the dangers, y'all. Larry has wolves very close to him. You can hear them howling in the background. Um, the wolves in Patagonia, they pack up to 20 wolves in a pack. Y'all, you get 20 wolves together, you talk about fierce. I mean, that could be a very dangerous situation. But Larry cleaned the chipmunk, ate it. Seemed like Larry's doing pretty good. Uh, he got a little frustrated setting a snare. But like I said, y'all, I think that's how Larry deals with things. I think Larry has a strong will to make it 64 days on season 2. Larry's a very strong-willed guy. Um, Another one of the guys I like a lot, Dave. Dave was on season 3. Uh, you know, Dave was trying to save food and prepare for winter and harsher times. Y'all, one of the I guess, the symptoms of starvation is you start hoarding food, putting it away, thinking you're going to have to save it. Larry had, I think it was either 33 or 33 fish halves that he had smoked and dried and preserved. Actually, they made him leave because of his physical condition. Malnutrition. I don't want to judge anybody in these videos, y'all. I don't mean it that way. I'm just giving my view, my outtake on it. If he would have just eat another fish a day, I think he would have lasted a lot longer. But on this season 5, episode 2, Larry actually built a fishing rod, fly fishing rod, trying to catch fish and stuff. He actually took a bow and arrow this time. He is hunting for deer and boar in episode 2. He actually, on my phone, I gotta get a drink of this tea, y'all. But while Dave was out hunting for deer and boar and stuff, he actually shot a grouse. Grouse went in the water, arrow went in the water, but Dave went out there probably waist deep and he got his grouse. That grouse in Mongolia have quite a bit of fat on them. That's a pretty good score, y'all. Something like that. And Dave was smart about it. He took the gizzard and stuff like that and throwed it in his pot with his grouse, boiled it down for the nutrients and stuff out of the gizzard and stuff like that. The next guy they showed was Brad. And y'all, Brad was on season 4, and he had to give up the first day because his partner on season 4, that's where they had the 2-man teams. His partner was his brother. I think it was his younger brother. And he fell, twisted, sprained, done something to his ankle, had to tap. Of course, when you're teams, one of you tap, the other one has to leave too. Y'all, I'm trying to make this video quick. It looks like it's gonna rain on us again. But Brad, honestly, I had very high hopes for Brad. I thought, you know, that this would be, you know, they call this redemption. I thought that would be a whole lot of the way Brad approached this. One of the statements Brad made that I can't agree with, he wanted to make things as similar as they was. He wanted to make the situation in Mongolia when he's out there as similar as he could to home. Well, y'all, I'm just gonna tell you, I get that mentality, I get that way of thinking, but it's nothing like being at home, y'all. It's not gonna be anything close to being at home. You know, he was having food cravings. I think this was by day 6 or 7, he was having food cravings. And don't get me wrong, Brad was trying. He was fishing, he set out trout lines, he had a gill net out. I think he said he put out up to, I think it was 50 snares. Y'all, he's having a hard time finding food. Talking about these traps and stuff, like I said, I'm not judging anybody, but you know, animals, traps, anything you touch, you leave human scent. Well, y'all, my way of thinking is, if I was out there setting traps, making snares, even fishing, setting my lines, I know there's no scent killer there, which I'm a big hunter. I use scent killer, stuff like that. Y'all, I'm not too far from the house. You can hear the dogs barking. I'm just down here at the little blackberry patch. But my way of thinking is, if I was setting traps and stuff, which that's one of the things I would definitely do, I would take dirt, grass, rub all over my hands, y'all. You know, try to do everything I could to kill my scent before I touched my trapping wire and snares and stuff like that. And that's just my opinion. But like I said, Brad's having a hard time finding food, y'all. He has wolves, just like Larry has wolves close to him. Y'all, those wolves, bad news. Especially you get like up to 20 of them together, could be rough, y'all. Dangerous situation. And you know, I don't know if you all know this, but these wolves, they can run up to like 30 miles an hour. You ain't gonna outrun them. You ain't gonna outsmart them. Wolves are very strategic, I guess you would call it, about the way they hunt. They hunt as a group, as a pack. If they're after you and they're serious about it, if you're away from your shelter, your camp, you're going to have to be pretty sharp to stay away from y'all. Let me see here. I'm checking my notes, y'all. Okay, Brad made a statement. I think it was on day 6 or 7. Because of the food cravings, he said that if he didn't find food by the next day, he was probably going to go home. Well, y'all, day 7, Brad tapped. He did say that he realizes it's a lot more of a mental game, I guess, it's a lot more mental than he thought it was. Honestly, I was anxious to see what Brad could do. He's a very young man. I'm not downing on Brad. I just think you can chalk that up to a lack of experience. But like I said, y'all, the older we grow, the wiser we get, the more experience we have. That's just part of life, you know. But he did say that having dinner with his family was more important than the $500,000. I love my family, y'all. The whole reason I'm trying to go on this show is to better my family. Sorry, y'all. YouTube. Alright, my family is my motivation, y'all. To better my family, my wife, my kids, my grandkids. That's the whole reason I want to do this, y'all. That's the reason I would try to win the $500,000. $500,000, y'all. I could, better my family in quite a few ways with $500,000. But Brad did tap. Not judging Brad for that. I don't mean anything bad about anybody in these videos, but to each his own. I mean, he reached his point where he thought it was time to go home. That's all you can say. I still like Brad. I think Brad does great. I think the more experience he gets, Brad will grow and develop into more of an outdoorsman, and in his journey through the survival world. Britt, another one of my favorites, y'all. It's hard for me to not like everybody on this season because it's Return of the All-Stars, y'all. It's people that's already been on there before. I think Britt has a very good chance this time. Britt was from season 3, and season 3 was in Patagonia. Britt made the statement that he feels more at home and more comfortable in Mongolia than he did in Patagonia. And I think that's because it's his return, because he's looking at this as redemption. Now, don't get me wrong. Britt done good. I mean, he done good on season 3. I think the reason he went home was his wife and kids. I know he has a son, and I think that's why he went home. His son is a young age, and he needs a daddy. You can't blame the man for that. Starts out with Britt eating grasshoppers. He said that's the first grasshopper he ate, y'all. I've eaten grasshoppers. Different, but they're good. And actually, the grasshoppers in Mongolia, they're like twice the size they are here in Kentucky. And I'm trying to remember, I think they said that for every 100 grams of grasshopper weight, you get 20 grams of protein. Or no, I'm sorry, 20 calories. Okay? I'd be catching a bunch of grasshoppers, y'all. I think Britt has a very good mindset. Like I said, y'all, I got notes on my phone here. I think Britt has a very good mindset this time. I think he is using, instead of going home for his family, I think he is using his family to stay motivated. I think that's going to push him and drive him to better his family like it would me. And I think Britt will go far as long as he doesn't get hurt or, something like that. I think Britt has a mentality he's not going to tap. Britt, I think it's on probably day 5 or 6. He is catching fish. I think he caught like 4 or 5 fish, y'all. And graylings, trout, stuff like that. I think some of them was trout. I know they were graylings. Great source of protein, a lot of calories. Uh, you know, and on season 3, Britt was catching quite a few fish, and he saved some of them. And the way he kept them fresh, instead of preserving them, the way he kept them fresh was that he put them in a running stream, cold water, kept the fish fresh for him. That way he could eat them as he needed to. He tried the same thing this time, y'all. And y'all, I don't know if it was a wolf, some kind of small varmint animal, something stole his fish. He put them in like a little wading pool stream. But y'all, I'll say this for Britt, he handled it very well. He admitted he made a foolish mistake. It was kind of funny the way he went about getting over it. He said, I'm over it right now. And with his mentality, I think he learned a lesson, and I think he moved on. I don't think it let him affect him. I think that was on day 8 when they stole his fish. He handled it very well, y'all. And, you know, my way of thinking is, y'all, like I've said before, you don't judge another man until you walk a mile in his shoes. These guys kind of knew what to expect as far as being rough, but Mongolia is a whole different place than anybody's been on the show before. I think as winter comes, it's going to get tougher. Like I said, I think it can get down to the maximum of about 60 below. Y'all, 60 below is cold. I mean, it's cold, y'all. You know, and some of the shelters that I've seen so far on the show, Brad, I think he was doing great as far as starting a great shelter. Some of those shelters, I think they've just used their tarps and stuff, and that's fine. But, you know, the longer you stay there, the less energy you're going to have, the less calories you take in, the weaker you're going to get. It's going to shorten your endurance. My way of thinking, I would set up a temporary shelter. But once I established a temporary shelter, fire, water, and was set up starting to try to catch food, the very next thing I would do is start building a permanent shelter and try to get it as winter-proof as I can. That's just my way of thinking, but that's what I would do. I would go on and spend the energy. And you know, I don't know how many of these guys, it actually showed I think it was the first episode or making the cut on the show, some of them took your emergency rations. You're allowed to take certain amounts of food like pemmican, gorp, trail mix, you know, that kind of type thing. They give you a list of like emergency rations to choose from. Honestly, I would probably take some kind of emergency ration just to keep my energy and endurance up while I was trying to make my shelter and get that kind of stuff going. And then, you know, once you get yourself established, I think you need to have a daily routine. Like myself, I would have trap lines, fish trap, gill net, some kind of different ways to catch fish set out. I would have different types of primitive traps set out. My daily routine, I would go every morning, every evening, I would go check my fish traps, my trap lines, my primitive traps, whatever, like a routine, like a big circle. While I was checking them, I would be packing my bow, hunting for stuff, small game and stuff while I was there. But y'all, Mongolia has deer that they can actually harvest this time, boar, lots of pretty good sized game. I mean, it's not just small game that they can harvest this time, I think. And, you know, you make a score like even a average, around here, a deer is 100 and some pounds. You know how much meat you get off that? I don't know. I think there's 2 different kinds of deer in Mongolia. I'm not sure about the size of them. I haven't researched that part of it yet. That's one of the things I plan on doing, is doing a little more research on the game that you can harvest and stuff in Mongolia while these guys are there. But you harvest something like that, you start preserving food, making jerky, that kind of stuff. that could be a big bonus, y'all. That could be a big boost as far as your stamina and your endurance and your um, you know, mental fortitude. I mean, you know what kind of a mental boost that would be if you knew you had 20 or 30 pounds of meat sitting here dried. Wild boar. Uh, I mean, that's a big score, y'all. I mean, you know, and I would do as much hunting as I could while I was there. Um, I would have to go about it a little different than some of the people on the show have. I'm not going to reveal all my secrets, but I would definitely be a big time hunting. I would have, like I said, uh, different ways to harvest fish, different ways to harvest small game, and then I would probably be hunting for anything small game and up while I was out hunting, um, gathering firewood. But you know, once you get established, I think that's the big thing. You need to get established as quick as you can while you have the energy to. And I think that then you break out your routine. You start checking your traps on a regular basis, um, hunting on a regular basis. You know, trying to harvest as much food as you can because y'all, I'm telling you, winter's gonna be rough. And that's just my outlook on this. That's just the way I would approach it. Like I said, y'all, I'm not saying that I'm right, and I'm definitely not saying anybody else is wrong. Um, as of right now, the people that they showed, I like Britt, I like Dave, and I like Larry. Um, Sam, Sam has gained quite a bit of weight. He was on episode 1 of season 5. He's beefed up. He's gained quite a bit of weight, and that's one of the things that I would definitely do. You know, y'all, I'm about 160 pounds, about all I am right now, but I would definitely try to gain 20, 30 pounds if I could. Not real easy for me to gain weight, but I would definitely start taking in a lot of protein, hitting the weights, trying to put on as much weight, muscle, and fat as I could, because your body first starts using your fat. Um, cellular cannibalism. Your body, you go without food long enough, your body starts breaking down your fat to get what it needs. You get past that point, you start looking at muscle tissue and stuff starts breaking down, and you start losing that. And y'all, you start losing muscle. It's not easy to get that back out there. Now back home, yeah, you can kind of rejuvenate yourself, but out there, y'all, it's not that easy, especially if you're not finding more food than some of these people are already. But anyway, y'all, I told you I was gonna start doing this series again. I apologize because I haven't been around, but y'all, no matter what I want to do or that I enjoy doing in life, my family and my responsibilities have to come first. I've been looking for work. I told y'all the situation about being laid off. My company selling out, part of it going to China. There's quite a few of us that lost their jobs, y'all. And where I live, it's just a small community. Not a lot of work right here local. Like I said, I've been traveling to a couple other towns, pretty good ways off, trying to find work and stuff. Y'all say a prayer for me. Um, bear with me. And I promise y'all, I'm going to do everything I said, you know, and I want to accommodate everybody I can in these videos. I want to do anything that you guys ask of me in these videos. Anything that I can do to support our survival and outdoor community, I'm all about it, y'all. You guys need anything from me, leave me a message on YouTube, hit me up on Twitter. Like I said, you guys have suggestions what you want to see me do? Let's hear it. I'm up for a challenge, y'all. I will do anything I can as long as it doesn't interfere with me taking care of my family. Uh, Another thing I want to say before I go, I appreciate all y'all. You guys have given me the camaraderie, the fellowship, and friendship that I have been missing for years. Like I told y'all, everything I do outdoors, I do by myself, y'all. And you don't know how much it means to me to be accepted into this community and for you guys to be behind me and support me like you have. And I just want y'all to know that I appreciate it. I love each and every one of you. And I want to thank y'all for watching. Um, One thing I am going to start doing, I promise y'all, I'm going to start doing more bushcraft. I've actually got a couple things in the works now. I'm not going to reveal anything yet, but I've got a couple things in the work. I'm going to do some stuff that probably a couple people haven't done. Very few people have done. I'm going to start making more stuff. I'm going to start showing my bushcraft skills, and we'll see what happens, y'all. But I just want to tell y'all from the bottom of my heart, thank you for watching. If you would, please like and subscribe, and I'll see y'all next time. I'm gonna give me some more blackberries.